So
Go.
spec controllers. I think this
Um,
might blow up.
just change the color scheme, please.
I can't. I
Huh?
don't know how to
Oh,
change this color scheme of my terminal.
no. The Vim. That's one. The terminal is perfect. Okay.
Okay. When we go to
So
Vim, we
just
should do that.
okay. Just scroll up.
Sure,
Scroll
one
up.
second. I need to resize. Okay, yep.
Oh,
So this is the
yeah.
same message.
Stop there. Stop there.
Yep.
Okay. Mm, so the problem seems to be. Hold on. I think if I paste this in the browser, that will help. But I can't copy from teammate for some reason. What?
I can copy paste it into the chat for you. What part are you looking for?
The illegal URL.
I'll give you a little more than that. Here you go.
What's that? Okay. And this and this. I might share my screen in case. By the way, in the meantime, can you open your gem file once? Do you still have VCR enabled?
Yeah. I turned it off here. But yeah, it's still enabled. Alright, so you want my gem file or gemfile.lock?
Just gem file and start. Let's go. Yeah, that's all. Go to the place where VCR is defined. I mean, the
Yep.
gem. Okay, that's right. So that shouldn't be a problem then.
We can check the version real quick. Hmm.
Also, one more thing is, wait, what? For some reason, I seem to get an XML being written. Oh yeah, that's YouTube. But never mind.
So we're using 2.9.0. Let me double check, make sure that's an up-to-date version of VCR.
I don't think it's a problem with VCR.
Yep, I agree. It's just, I'm surprised that VCR was able to make this work.
No, that's because
Whatever.
this URL wasn't even being called, so that's why VCR wasn't able to make it work.
Well, I mean, VCR makes a real call once.
Yeah, that one time I think just VCR made it, not through youtubeit. Or maybe that one time something else was there which has been changed now. I'm not really sure.
Well, I can
Okay.
redo that one-time call. In fact, I can turn it in such a way that it does a real net call every single time. But whatever VCR does, what this net call is channeled through into VCR, it wraps the XML appropriately, apparently, so it doesn't raise this error.
You just open the stack trace once again, if that's possible.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, scroll down. I want to get to the point where the controller is. Go down.
I think you can
Yes.
go down too with the arrow keys if you want.
Okay, yeah, right. Stop there. Okay, videos by. Alright. So this is in test, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is our spec. Only in our
So,
spec, though. Cucumber
how
works
do you,
fine.
yeah, how do you switch to Vim? How did you?
Well, just FG.
Okay. FG. What? I can't type. Okay, I can type. Ah, shit.
Here,
So, I mean,
NOH to get rid of that highlighting. There we go.
all the tests failed, right? Or
Yeah,
is
they all
there?
blow up. But of course, they perform fine if we re-enable VCR. And even if we re-enable VCR and put in the setting to VCR that allows it to make a real net call every single time, it'll still work.
Can you check the development? I mean, it works on the Scrum's index page. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's just
I
open.
just want to make sure that there's no problem with youtubeit.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want me to ngrok this or something?
No, 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 that's all right. I just want you to. I just want to
Okay.
see the screen.
So here we are.
Interesting. So it's just a test-related problem, that seems.
Yeah, it works. By the way, so if I go into Rails console and I call the pieces of the business logic that YouTube it works fine. But if I put a debugger in my rspec test and do those same things, it blows up right when it makes the real net call. So it's something about rspec. And by the way, this is not a problem in Cucumber. Cucumber works fine. So it works fine in Cucumber, Rails console, localhost.
Let's put a debugger. Let's see what happens. Our controller. What? I really like this O, which Ruby love taught me. That's really helpful.
What is?
The O.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, N. How do you step over the line, or is it just not possible? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, how do you step over this line? Like, I just want to go from 6 to 7. I
I
want
don't
to go
know.
in. Okay, this Ruby debugger. GDB is far better sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we see what URL is?
It's yeah. We
Right,
need to
okay.
go. Okay.
Alright, let's look at URL again.
Yeah. Have a look at it now.
I thought I was going to have more crap on it.
Hmm.
I thought
Oh
there was
yeah.
going to be the rest of it, but
Yeah, because we haven't specified categories or tags. It's just
I gotcha.
okay. This is a cool trick. Okay, now the URL is going to be filled. It seems. No, no, after this line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and it isn't. Why am I cycling over the same thing?
It's a loop, I would assume.
Was that a loop? Oh yeah, it's just BAMs. How many BAMs are there? Oh my god, so many BAMs.
Mm.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh shit, I went back. Okay. I went.
URI is what's in scope here. Oops, sorry.
Okay, go on, go on.
So there we have the much extended one.
Yeah, let's just try this. We can, I think, do check this to see if the URL is valid or not. Okay, so the URL seems valid. Yeah, let's continue. Yeah, we will do this.
Hi.
So
It's going to take a long time.
yeah, right now you're in openuri.rb. Now you're in net.http, HTTP header. Now we're in webmock.
Okay, so I think it's webmock that's causing the problems, or maybe not. Yeah, it's just. Are you sure you have disabled webmock?
No, in fact, I left it on, but the error, I wanted to see, as a sanity check, that webmock would complain about a net connection,
Okay,
but
let's just. I
it
think we
didn't get
can
that far. It blew up with
create.
a parser before it made the net call that webmock was gonna catch.
Okay, interesting. So that means it blows up before the net is call is being sent, maybe.
I would assume, yeah. So now we're in this gem called addressable. I don't know what its
Yeah.
part is.
Right. So
It
we are
might
still with the
be,
same.
hmm?
Yeah. Go on.
It might just be a dependency of webmock.
No, I think it's a dependency of Rails, maybe because WebMock was left far behind earlier. So
Mm,
we still have the same query. So
mm-hmm.
in fact, this query seems to yeah, it seems to work fine. So okay, we were in WebMock. Then I went back. Let me just see where were we. Okay, so yeah, it's a WebMock dependency. It seems.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. We are in WebMock at the moment.
Mm-hmm. By the way, what are you pressing to roll forward like this? Is it N?
Enter. I mean, enter just does the last command that was
Okay.
executed. So I'll just check what the addressable gem does. I don't know if that'll help or not, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. So it's basically a replacement for the Ruby URI implementation.
Mm.
If when you just continue, just one more thing. Can you just post the what do you say? The error message in the chat.
Yeah,
In
it's
my
in the chat.
the error message. Oh yeah, it's there. I just have a look at it. I'll just search it in relation to webmock and let's see if that brings up anything.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it does. So it's an issue. There is an issue open on it on youtubeit in relation to webmock.
Oh, link me.
Yeah, it's closed as well, so there must be a solution.
Okay, I read this before, and
Does it help?
it might help. We're doing a video by query. Um, does webmock come up in this at all? No, it doesn't necessarily pertain to webmock. We're doing a different
Okay.
query than is shown here. These are just raw query strings. Um,
Okay, I just might. So related questions are there on our spec. Hold on.
I'm gonna look on the webmock issue board. Yeah, I've looked at several of you find any documentation of REXML errors is from what you just linked right there.
Okay.
Um,
I think we should go on with our debugging because like one of the answers on Stack Overflow says that like there might be a invalid character or something when parsing XML
mhm.
maybe.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's obviously the ampersand. And probably what it wants is to be replaced by the like AMP whatever, you know.
it's a pain going through all this. Okay. So it seems like we received the result maybe. I don't know if I can continue with this. It seems to be going nowhere. It's in the same file iterating of the same lines.
Yeah.
I could just do a C, but continue, but that would lead us to nowhere.
Can you do
Mm-hmm.
do a breakpoint at the very end of this routine and then do a C? Like at that return, like 154 maybe, where it returns.
Yeah, but then you'd have to edit the gem, right? And then
Can you just do B 154 or B the line number and then it will? If you do B,
oh
you
yeah,
can
right.
set a breakpoint.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, that's right. So,
Hi guys,
Hello,
Hi,
Marcelo.
Marcelo.
sorry I'm late.
what?
Interesting. You're still in there?
Yeah, I just had a breakpoint at the last line, but I'm still in there.
Oh, you're back in there, I guess.
No, a breakpoint to. No, I
Are you
don't
doing,
want to start over.
are you doing next or step?
I'm next. I mean, a Ruby debug takes it this way. I mean, or debugger. Like even if you press next, it just goes inside that method. I don't really know if
Yeah.
there's a method to skip over. I mean, with
Yeah.
Hey, Marcelo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you see that someone's talking to you in the website one chat?
Yeah, hold on.
I might just exit out of this. It seems to be going nowhere. I don't know. I think like I'm just wasting time here. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's probably iterating through each character of the string and putting it in a long loop of.
yeah, that's probably it. Marion, do you know how to remove a breakpoint?
No.
Oh
Done.
yeah, that's
I think you can. I think if you do B again, it will remove them.
okay.
By the way, if I know you don't want to go through all that again, but it never blows up on line 5. It's line 6 that blows it up.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
another
it,
idea. I mean,
it might be clear, Semperty, to clear the breakpoints.
yeah, I have, now we've already exited out of it. So
I saw, but for next time.
yeah, drums. I see.
John, are you working on that issue you had with youtubeit or?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
really an issue because we don't have to do a real net call from within our spec.
Right.
Uh, and real net calls work everywhere else in the stack. It's just a little bit unsettling uh, that we've got this strange interaction that magically gets solved by VCR.
I
But,
see.
we can just continue.
Okay.
I don't know. It might just be. Yeah, it may not because we are having the same response. Are we doing the same thing with in the development environment, like this exact same query, or is it
Yep.
different?
No, exact same.
No, with the same parameters.
Are there parameters for the index page?
Oh, again, yeah, that's just I mean, the query, the text query, like Agile Ventures from, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's hard coded in there.
Okay, then it can't be the XML response then. Could you just try, like, how do you disable I mean that, how do you disable webmock for a particular URL?
Well, what we can do is, I mean,
Hold on. Yeah, go on.
I don't even know if WebMock is enabled in RSpec right now. We could go into a debug breakpoint and then do just a net HTTP call to Google real quick, if you want.
Okay.
Ruby, I'll just look up how to do that. A little rusty on that. Okay, perfect. So let's go debugger. So, uh,
That's Control P, right?
yeah. Alright, so we'll require. Oh, we already had that loaded.
Oh no, that should work. If you just use net colon colon HTTP, that'll work.
Okay, so
VCR.disable or something. And by the way, you might want to do the third one where it says allow HTTP connections when no cassette. That might help.
true. Right. I think that's a setting that I put in the. Okay. Let me just Google
Yeah,
it real quick, but I think I dropped it in that file.
I have it, so I'll just paste it.
Sure.
And then just start the test again.
Okay. So. Mhm. Alright, so let's try that call again.
Required.
Oops. Go with net HTTP call. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see if
So
that has any effect on our test suite.
no, no, it does not seem like it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, no, it does. It's making a real net call and it's working fine.
Okay, good.
So that
So,
was it. Whatever this, me just turning off, I thought that I could just turn off VCR a little bit.
but the
Apparently not.
problem, I mean, what seems weird is like it was giving a totally unexpected error
Yeah,
instead of just failing. So yeah, that solved it then.
yeah. Good job.
All that
So,
time spent for debugging for no reason. So that's another thing I'm happy about.
right. So these are obviously failing just because the new data doesn't match the fixture data. But
Yeah.
actually, we probably need to change these tests so that they're more agnostic to the actual data in the fixture. Because,
Yeah,
like,
one more thing. Oh,
uh
what's today's date?
what's today's date?
Yeah.
28th of May.
So, I mean, why does the latest one is on 23rd of May?
Because I think that the
It,
query is overly specific. You
yeah,
see,
yeah, exactly. We need to find a way, John and Sampriti, to. I think if you add like if you use something like Atlantic Scrum's Ampere hookup, it'll it'll get the latest. But we need to figure out how to word the
Yeah, the
query.
problem seems to be like one thing we could do is like we could search by both query and author. but the YouTube gem does not support that. The only way we
Correct.
could do that is use the Yaro's code, the Yaro's YouTube thing. So, I mean, one thing we could do is we could extract that out into a gem, which I had
Right.
already done in a separate branch.
One thing that I talked to you, Sampriti, about is that we don't want the scrums that have one or two people. The idea was to bring the scrums that are
What?
more or less popular.
It seems like it's gonna be really hard to do a filter on that.
No, no, he's saying like he could filter on basing on the views, the view count.
Does the view count actually increment the more people that are inside the hangout?
No, no, no. I think he wanted to like that might not be possible, but uh, the more popular scrums could be just brought in, or maybe just like specifically we know that the Atlantic scrums are always more popular, so we can
Right.
just
Mm-hmm.
fetch the Atlantic scrums and then sort them by popularity maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are a few scrums which have around 10 to 15 views, even though that might be very less.
I think that the number of views is somewhat arbitrary.
Well, if somebody wants to check a scrum, and there there is only there are 2, 3 people in there. I don't know. I thought that maybe if we could provide a way so they see a scrum and they say, oh, what, 15 people or 10 people or whatever, it'll be better. But I don't know. It's up to you.
Um,
Like sometimes the Euro Asia scrum at 11 p.m. my time, there is hardly anybody there.
yeah. What we could do
So
is like Sempri just said, just start doing the Atlantic scrums.
yeah, exactly, and that will bring probably the latest.
So the query Atlantic scrum probably is gonna work for us.
You should do Atlantic scrums and pair hookup.
Well, why make the query more specific than it needs to be though? Unless we find we're getting.
Well, try with see what you get with Atlantic scrum.
I got stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Latest?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But I don't know about the latest. Honestly, the most recent one here is the 21st, so that's not most recent. But we might need to look at other more specific queries. I don't know.
Can you do Atlantic Ampere hookup and see what you get?
Sure. I would assume that a more specific query is going to return less results. But I mean, can I do these actual queries in my browser? What's the equivalent of going to youtube.com and searching Atlantic Scrum?
This isn't exactly that because YouTube is pretty complex as you know it, and you need to open private browsing and try that to fetch the exact query that you'll get because you logged in and it takes in your details to make sure. So you need to open private browsing and then youtube.com.
Okay, I'm in private browsing now.
Yeah, and
Um,
then the Atlantic Scrum and pair hookup or whatever.
yeah, like it doesn't seem to be. Neither query seems to be very good. I mean,
Hmm.
Why is that?
well, they're not returning like really recent stuff. Like we're not getting this,
S-
for instance.
if you scroll back. I mean, go back to the original search. Uh, and where it says filters, can you open the filters part. Uh, Filters, yeah.
Mhm.
Is there something about recent?
Yeah, upload date.
The, yeah, use this week, and then sort by upload date. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could do this week too, but nothing for this week. Back it up to just Atlantic Scrum.
What? So it seems like
See.
YouTube search is complex. Maybe like it doesn't show you what to do. I mean, within the last few days, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
What does-
Uh, yeah. So what did you get, John? Like a week ago, or
I only get a very small selection of the videos that you would expect. I
yeah.
mean, we could also just direct it to go to Sam's channel, because if it's going to be Atlantic Scrum.
Yes. In fact, we talked with Sampriti about that because those seem to be the most popular ones. Yes. Good idea.
But
Yeah.
but the problem is YouTube it can't handle that. So
Mm.
It cannot because is didn't you put the Sam's ID in the query, uh, Sampriti?
yeah, but I think we need to manually filter it then, and
Mm.
or maybe that's possible. So you could do that. Like you could just do a videos by user, and then get all the videos, and then filter by Atlantic Scrum or Java Scrum or whatever.
I personally think that if somebody browses through the scrums and they get like a 5 day ago scrum, I mean it's fine. I just don't want them to look at scrums like 3 months ago.
Mhm.
So I think it's okay. I don't know about you guys, but I mean if it is a scrum that has, you know, 5 to 10 people and there seems to be activity, that is good for me.
I don't think we can do a query based on how many people were in the call
No,
that we
no, no. I
recorded.
know, I know. But I think if we do the Atlantic one, it should be somewhat more popular than others.
Right.
And maybe do the Sam, associated with Sam's channel,
Mhm.
and that should be it. That's at least for the first iteration. It should be okay.
Right. So we could do Sam's channel and
And
search
Atlantic,
for
yes,
Atlantic Scrum, but we need
yes,
to have basically two ways of searching: just Scrum, just Atlantic, and then you see how he often combines the words.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that should be,
Marion, are you there?
huh?
Marion, are you there?
No, she left to go to pick up somebody at the airport.
Oh.
She'll be back later. So I noticed that those are have we changed those tests?
What?
Uh, those are the tests that were passing when I sent you the pull request a few days ago, and now they're red.
Yeah, okay. Well, I turned on real net connections, so
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
cool. So the real net connection is going to be for the first time that we get all the scrums.
No, it was just to play around.
Oh, to play around. Okay.
Mhm. Oh. Oh.
Well,
Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah, good shit. Well, what I think I'm gonna do is set up Cucumber for, or set up VCR for Cucumber.
okay.
Um.
So we're gonna do cucumber for
Sam Pretty, are you there?
he's muted.
I'm still there. There's some background noise, and I'm just reviewing Brian's pull request, so I'll just be on mute for the moment.
Okay. Um. Let me find my implementation.
I saw you wrote some basic cucumber in there.
Huh?
Did you write any cucumber test?
I just changed the test to make sure I'm hitting the right place. I changed it to explicitly go to a URL. But that I won't push this commit to you guys. It's just experimental.
Okay.
Now I need to dig through my GitHub history to find a really old thing. Need to look at my old local support branch, .net.
Oh, you did cucumber for VCR in local support?
I actually don't use VCR in local support, but one thing that it looks like Cucumber with VCR needs is something that I've done before in local support, so that's what I was looking at.
Oh, okay.
Alright, this is what I want. Alright, let's look at this chitter chatter. Alright. Well, the important part Marcelo, who has the latest Scrum spike code?
Who has the latest Scrum Spike? Well, you sent me that pull request yesterday.
Yeah, but weren't you and Marion doing stuff?
Let's see. Well, Mariam wrote this. Yes. You can grab it from me. Yes.
Okay.
Remember that we wrote that spec for the model.
Okay. Make
Remember
sure that
that?
whatever you have there is pushed up to your remote.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Git status. All right. Hold on. I'm gonna commit this. I'm sorry. I'm going in too many directions today. So this was specs for model, or Scrum model. Okay, push origin, Scrum spike. All right, you can, I push it to origin, so you should be able to pull from me.
Okay.
And you should have that.
Okay. Sound pretty. You here?
Sampriti, you there? He's
Oh yeah,
muted.
I'm there. I'm
There you
there.
go.
Okay. So
So the
what?
Slack bot proved to be more intelligent.
Yeah, sure. Um. So look at the VCR with cucumber thing, and tell me if I'm right in understanding that it needs internal Sinatra app, and then below that I have posted a GitHub commit where I set up a mini Sinatra app for local support to do this sort of thing. Not for VCR, but similar idea.
I don't think like Sinatra. I think there might be another way. I haven't really looked at it, but I don't think we should have another Sinatra app just for purposes of testing with VCR. Let me have
Well,
a
yeah, have a look.
hold on. Yeah. Is it? This is the one I'm looking at, right?
I'm looking at your
Yeah.
screen. Yep.
This is just for recording, right?
This is for VCR.
No, I think this is just for. Hold on. CR.config. That's not right. Uh, no, my question is like, this seems to be for recording.
Good point.
We were reading the same thing with Mariam yesterday, and I think
No,
that
if you have a look, it says record HTTP interactions. So you
yeah,
could just manually record it. It does not need to be a Sinatra app. But
I
then I
got
haven't
you.
really had a look. So let me have.
Okay, no, that's a good point.
I think you recorded it already, Johnny.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this is just for the purposes of recording, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you have a look, or maybe it seems like wait. So if you have a look, what it says is like get slash path is
Yep.
basically returns hello params path. So that I think it's basically like when you don't have webmock, maybe I'm not sure, to just return like stub out all external requests maybe, because if you have a look, this does not really deal with recording a cassette. Do you get that?
Yeah, here, actually, I'm sorry. I sent you an old, outdated version. I think you're right, still with the new version. I just posted the new version in the chat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and, actually the Slack bot wasn't that intelligent. It was just me posting to the API. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Do webmock. This.
Okay.
Makes sense. No, I'm not featuring.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right.
So it basically, I think, is a way to. Yeah, if you see, I think it's a way to return a particular response, because if you have a look, all the tags here just return the same thing, hello, then the path name.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really return any cassette maybe. I
Okay, yeah. And as the name sort of implies, what happens is you tag a scenario, and if you need to, you put like special options on it. But you do that, and the first time it makes a cassette, and then from then on, I think it uses the cassette. So okay.
let me just have a look at some other documentation, like on GitHub or something, maybe, because this
Mm-hmm.
doesn't seem they're very good. Maybe on Stack Overflow or some blog post. Yeah, there is Railscast. Let me just find out the pirated version. Uh,
You don't need to waste your time. It doesn't deal with that. I've watched it already.
oh yeah, you have the pro version.
Yeah. But if you Google VCR Cucumber, I'm gonna look at the blog post I see here.
Yeah. Yeah, this might be helpful using WebMock and VCR with Cucumber. And I reckon you are seeing the same thing.
Okay, yeah, it's way easier than I thought, so it should be fine.
What was the scenario when you were using a Rails app in local support?
Um,
Isinatra?
yeah, you can see it in the thing I linked you. Did I link it in here?
No, just tell me in a gist what it was
Oh
for.
my god, where did it go? I closed the window where it was. I thought I had linked it in here. Apparently I just linked the same thing twice. I'll look it up. Hold on, I really do want to have it. Okay. So this is a commit where you can see all the changes.
Okay, so it seems like if you have VCR, you don't really need to care about webmock.
Yeah.
And,
How does Sinatra fit into this?
It doesn't.
okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
I was having a look at another blog post, and if you have a look at my screen, it's a very simple way of doing this.
Your screen is
So,
off. Oh wait, is it? Here it is. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at that same blog post.
okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So
so.
basically, I think this should be enough.
I agree.
We could just remove this and make it use just the feature file name. Uh,
hmm
um, uh, you can tell this. Okay, so then the Sinatra app isn't really required. That should be enough. I guess I'll need to leave for 15 to 20 minutes, so
hmm
you guys continue with your work.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Get it out of there.
So what we're going to test with Cucumber?
Oh crap. Well, the regular stuff.
Okay.
What is the name of that cucumber file?
The name of the Cucumber file
Scrums feature. Okay.
is Scrum's feature.
All right. That's fine. Uh, did I give you this teammate, by the way?
No, please.
Okay.
Do. Oh, I have one from yesterday, but let me close it.
Oh, I have two Vims open. Okay. So, let me get
So this cucumber will test the index page, basically?
Well, it'll test whatever you want it to test.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So remember the it blocks that I sent you in that pull request, which are probably in my Scrum spec. Not here. What we did yesterday. This. In the views. Never mind. Scrums. Okay. Copy. Can you look at my my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
Yep.
those were the it blocks that I kind of listed for the RSpec, but it could be used in Cucumber. You already have the first scenario there. Given them on the Scrum page, then I should see all the Scrums in either ascending or descending order. For me, would be descending because the latest is on top.
Mm. Okay. I think I want to make that a step definition.
What do you have on the left? That configuration file for VCR?
Yep, it's just stuff I copied from the blog.
Oh, okay.
But since we already have a pre-recorded one, what I want to do actually is just.
I mean, what I was saying is like you could. I wasn't really saying, but you could have the same one directory for both features and specs uh, instead of separate directories. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
But the problem is, where do you store them?
Well, I've already got a place for them.
In?
What is this one step? Interesting. Here, look at this. The Relish app docs for 2.9. It's if you control F when step. It's sort of new to me.
When dash.
No dash.
No, which one? The second one, right? When within a cassette named.
Yeah. So this is specifying, I guess that's if you wanted to use it
Oh,
on a specific step.
I think it's basically like instead of having tags, it's basically like saying like you just use your own cassettes, you specify them, clearly,
Yeah.
instead of using auto naming. So then you could just remove that block there from 6 to 8 on the left.
I mean, we could keep that option, so if we ever want to just automatically generate one.
You
Or yeah,
could,
we
I
could
mean,
throw it away, it doesn't really matter. But I'm looking at this, it looks like you pass in a step. How do you pass in a step? Would you actually write the entire step and then append to it within a cassette named blah?
wait, what?
That's so weird.
Wait. Okay. So when dash within, it's, I think you can have a look at the example down below. When a request is made to, oh no, that's not it. No, it's not there.
I got you. Yeah, when a request is made to blah 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 within a cassette named aloud. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I think you just need to wrap which steps you want to use a cassette inside that. So
Yeah.
you don't need to use that tag anymore.
Yeah,
That
I
is,
do want to use a tag though.
yeah, I think then you can just skip the step.
I just
But
need
then,
to. Okay.
um, yeah, but the problem is you can't really specify.
I can.
You
My.
can't really specify the cassette file. Then
I
you
think
need
I
to.
can. Check out how we did it over in the. I did not mean to do that. One horizontal split. Oops. Did not mean to do that. Meant to do that. So, I think I can just specify cassette name.
Can you just give me control for 1 second?
Hold on 1 second. Oh, I just lost my clipboard. Why? Let me just paste that in there. So, I think with the
But this isn't the describe block. This is cucumber, so you can't really specify using VCR symbol VCR index.
wait, what?
You can't really specify that the way you used to specify in the describe block.
Why can't I specify cassette name?
No, like if you have a look at the aspect, you just did as an argument to the describe. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that's possible, or is it?
This is what I'm trying to do.
But is this possible?
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think is it mentioned in the documentation?
Not everything is mentioned in the documentation. I'm sort of picking up the hint that this has the same options hash that the other one does. Maybe I'm wrong. But like, for instance, I see in the documentation here that you can specify record none, symbol record, hash rocket, symbol none. That's an option that I've seen used before. So I'm assuming that there's also an option to specify just the cassette name, which is what I would expect, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Let's go back to vertical split and so don't need the background now. We just need to now go at Scrum query. Let's look at this documentation a little bit more. I noticed in the documentation that people are putting their tag above a specific scenario, but that blog post indicated on the top of the feature, so I'm hoping that this works. Mm, 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 mm. So
So
this
what does line 1 do by
we
Scrum
have
query?
yet to see that, Marcelo.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like that. Um, VCR cucumber tags. Okay. Interesting GitHub issue. Post in the chat. It seems to be talking about what I want to do. Oh. Oh. Okay. So we have a different way of doing this. Let's go to hooks, I believe it's called. Yeah. And then we could do before at Scrum query. Mm-hmm. VCR use cassette. Path to cassette. My path to cassette. Okay. Yeah, scroll this down so I can read it at the same time. Uh,
I see. I see. Okay. Before. Okay. Where is that hooks.rb file?
it's within the feature directory.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Spec,
Right. Yeah, I got it.
fixtures, cassettes, oops, Scrum controller.
Wow. So nice that Vin gives you the choice right there. Wow.
Yep. Um, mm, I'm allergic to long lines. Lines over 80 characters.
Yep.
So, and then after Scrum query VCR dot eject cassette. All right. I still might need to take this down into the scenario level, but we'll see. Let me just give it a run. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't like it up there at the top, so uh, what the hell is this uninitialized constant R? Oh, I have something weird in one of my files by mistake, I guess. Yep, that was a mistake. It's supposed to be VCR. I somehow mangled it. So I may not need to. Okay, let's just give this a run. Okay, we have a different error. Cannot load such a file, fake web. Hmm.
Can I have a look at the config?
Yep. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and sorry to leave you midway while you're talking. I had to take a call.
That's fine.
I think there should be a gem called fake web then, maybe, which is not a dependency. Let me have a look.
Oh, you're right. Why am I? We don't have fake web. We have webmock.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a gem.
Yep.
So actually, you need fake web because a webmock will just block the request, and what fake web does is it injects fake responses. So you might just want to do that.
But we have webmock already. You know, it works fine
Uh,
for what we need.
yeah, I mean, I would say like now that I've had a look at it, I mean, we could just use fake web because many of the places we just what we do is like, oh wait, hold on. Oh no, I think webmock will do the job. Never mind.
So I used
Yeah.
this incorrectly. Okay. Yep. I just read further down on the blog post, so you switch it to insert with that.
Can you do insert instead of,
Yeah.
yeah, right, line 4?
How do you delete that word? Just one whole word.
Uh, so you're gonna like to do DW, deletes the word,
Okay.
CW, change word, you know,
Okay.
basically the same thing, but it drops you into insert mode.
And
And if you capitalize that W, it gets extra smart. Like, if I just do delete word here, it'll just, actually here, hold on. Let me go to the beginning of the line. So if I do delete word, it'll only take off there. Let me undo. But if I do delete shift W, it'll take off everything until a space. So
okay.
it's more greedy, basically.
And how do you delete till the end of the line? D dollars.
D dollar sign, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
But also, if you want to delete to a specific point, like the equals sign, you do DT equals.
Okay. Delete
Or,
till equals.
and of course, all copy. And so, you know, Y till equals you can do.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Got it. So basically, copy till equals or deal cut till equals, right?
yep. And then you can also do inside. So, for instance, you want to come down here and when I change the, so I could do CI quote, and it will cut everything inside the quotes and drop me into insert mode.
Yeah, I remember. And then the whole thing is CA code, right?
Say again?
The whole thing is like including the codes is CA code, right?
Say again?
Including the codes, I mean not just the inside. That's a CA code, right? Yeah, that's right.
What was the letter that you used to do that?
Instead of I, it's basically A.
Oh, right. Right. Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, I think that means around or something. I don't know.
all or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, probably all. Okay,
Okay.
so let's see if this works.
Um, After this is done, just change your color scheme. It looks really bad.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Um. Oh fuck. Fuck.
Wow. What the hell? Whoa. Oh,
Okay.
what the fuck?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Um, can you just change the color scheme? It looks really bad for me here.
So,
Hello?
yeah, I can hear you, but I'm not
Yeah,
inside Vim for very long,
okay.
so.
It looks.
Um,
What does it look like to you, Sabri? It looks pretty fine. It looks fine to me.
Yeah, that's because you're on I term too. I'm on X term, and John has some weird settings which I don't have, so everything's like grayed out in Vim to me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the terminal's perfect, I think. Now, one more thing is, if you open that file back up again,
hold on.
yeah, sure.
This is the only change, right?
And why did you comment that out?
Because I don't plan to actually do that.
Okay, so if you open that features file again, feature, yeah, uh, line number one isn't even, or minus one isn't even required because you're explicitly specifying what files you need to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not required. Yeah.
Mm. But I went back to breaking it apparently for our spec, which surprises me. Um, so
Hmm.
it's
So
set
we
up the
broke.
way it used to be.
Huh?
So this is the original way of doing VCR
Yeah, that's,
here,
yeah.
but I broke it.
So when we introduce that cucumber feature, it breaks all this the test in RSpec. Is
I
that?
don't know. I don't know if it was a cucumber.
So that's because I think you commented out the other the allow its net connections maybe.
Yeah, but I don't want to allow net connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just allow that, and let us just make sure that I mean I just want to make sure that the cassette is being loaded or not, because
Hmm.
if you allow that and then if the latest data comes in, that means that the cassette isn't working.
True. I'm gonna. Okay, fine. We'll do that.
And one more thing, what I was saying is, like, instead of having two VCR files in spec and both in the for the R spec and features, you could just have one for in the in initializers, which would be for both. I mean, for the specs and the cucumber.
Okay. Yeah. It went back to not working now.
What?
Yep.
So uncomment that line in the cucumber one. I think that's what made it fail. Not sure though.
Uh, wait. You think that my
The cucumber?
you're thinking this is
Yeah.
making that fail? Okay, that
No,
could be true. Maybe these
that
are
couldn't.
both.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They are overwriting each other. Maybe
Yeah.
try doing that. Try doing that. Oh yeah, same thing. Dear. Same problem now. Debugging like when.
I mean, if you look at
Now,
the files changed.
no, go back and undo what was there. I mean, and just uncomment that line. Maybe,
Mm, uh,
or maybe
sure.
that's not going to help much. Even though I'm just trying out all the different possibilities.
Yep.
Save.
Make sure everything is saved. Okay.
Holy shit.
Just a sanity check to make sure Vim isn't somehow not updating my. Yeah,
And
no, it's the same.
hold on, stay there for a moment.
Okay.
Is this the same error? I think so.
Yeah.
Exact same error, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think we might just try deleting everything we have done, or maybe just like removing it temporarily. That's cucumber related, and then try, because I am we haven't done any changes in the specs, right?
Yeah.
So
Um.
what you could do is try deleting.
We made some changes to the files that the spec needs, right?
You don't really have. Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
What?
No, instead of doing that,
Uh. uh
that's not. I mean, that's not the right command, right?
what do you mean?
Get checkout. Then you're specifying like two branch names. Or dash
Nothing
dash is.
wrong there.
No. Like what is it that you're trying to do there?
Well, it's gonna check
Yeah,
out a specific file.
Okay.
yeah,
So I think
going.
you don't need to add the dash dash there. You just need to specify the file name instead of dash dash.
Yeah. I know, but
Uh,
I actually don't even need to check out a file. I just realized that this thing recorded its own cassette. What happens if I RM the features?
Just ls the features and cassettes
No,
first.
I've already looked in it.
When did
This
you?
is
Okay, then try that.
and also I want to just
No, instead of doing that, just comment that out. Don't do that. Just comment that out. You will lose your work. So
I don't really care, but sure. I mean,
just comment out the whole block
okay.
instead of that. Is that just VC and then hash, right? Like
What?
select the. You do that by just selecting the line and then changing it to hash.
It's a little more complicated than that. I'll link you the Stack Overflow that I learned from.
Okay.
Okay, there it is
Okay.
in the chat. Um,
Shit.
all right.
Isn't that the same error that you were getting last night when you posted that issue with the legal character?
Yeah. So, so it seems like commenting that out fixes it, or does not.
It does not.
It does not. Yeah.
One more thing before you comment that. Just okay. Let me just do that. I mean, I was just saying, can you try removing the feature slash scrum feature and and uh, I see that you've made a change in the hooks. What change have you made in the hooks?
Is that a hook?
Oh,
Before and after.
Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so there's something wrong with my system right now. Marcelo,
um,
when you run your test, do you get any trouble?
yeah, I guess so. Uh,
Well, you need to push the code to me.
No, I'm not pushing any code. I deleted all my code. Just run your code.
can you just open the spec?
Yep.
I think VCR is disabled, and you need to add that setting back, or
Well,
just enable
yeah.
VCR again.
Uh,
Mouse controller.
yeah, it's not
Yeah, there.
disabled though.
What?
Yep. Yeah, so
Hold on.
Marcelo, could you run this suite on your side?
I'm just
Which
fetching
one?
this.
Which one do you want me to run? The spec?
Yeah, for the controller.
Yeah. Okay.
Marcelo, what's the branch name? Yeah, I'll
Scrum
just fetch
spike.
from.
Scrum spike.
Okay, I'll just fetch from you, and then here for Marcelo. What? CRM.
What?
What? What? Sounds right. And then pull request. GitHub. do this.
Holy macro, John! I have the same error.
Oh,
Okay, now let me check my side.
You
I
run
just
it,
fetched.
some pretty.
I just fetched from you, Marcelo.
Yeah.
So, and this is going to fail. Yeah, this is going to fail. Did you guys run any migration? Hel- Hello?
yeah, I can hear you. That's a
Did you
tricky
guys
one.
run?
I think
Because
I
for some
ran
reason,
migration yesterday when I got.
maybe. No, no. I mean, did you create a migration or something?
Uh,
Okay,
we
create.
didn't create one,
create.
but why are you asking about a migration? Because there was some weird migration floating around.
No, there
We
is. I
we
yeah.
added a column to the Scrum table
Okay, got it. Now RSpec. Yeah.
yesterday with Mariam.
Okay, everyone's having the same errors, so nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but how did we just suddenly break it? It used to work.
It
We have to
used to
roll
work.
back to a previous commit.
I'll hold on. Let me just. I'll use. So, Marcelo, when are you, or John, when are you sure that it was 100% working? Like when you merged in the pull request from John, was it working?
I'm gonna go to the. Okay. I'm just gonna grab. I don't know. I'm gonna just start grabbing random commits and running the test.
There
Yeah.
is an there is an automatic tool for that which I've always wanted to try, so I'll try that. Git called git bisect. Might want to try that just in case. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have it working on. I'll post the SHA in here if you want to check it out,
Got it. Uh,
which was only 18 hours ago. It was the commit right before my commit where I started purposely breaking it.
what's the name of the command? Uh,
Added YouTube URL to. Okay, so this is. If I link you the
okay.
history of commits, it's the second one.
So it seems like I think we either lost something in the Scrum, a merge, or we might have like Marcelo might have introduced something. Let me just show this last commit of Marcelo's. Git show. Sure.
Can you share some pretty, please?
Yeah, just give me a minute. I was just. Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sharing the screen just in case. And John, I don't have my latest. So it's just if you're just searching for my repository. Okay, so
Okay, I think it
this
was
is
a mistake to check out from. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong branch. Never mind.
let me just okay, let's finally try this. This is awesome. GD git checkout dash dot specs controllers.
Okay, yeah. So there was a migration added.
Yeah, the columns to.
By the way, John, Can you just do one favor for me? Can you just check if you're having a look at the Git log? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll, I'll just post. I'll just do some. I'll just do a checkout and then try if that's working or not. Alright. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. Uh, okay, I'm gonna check out this one.
Controllers, controller. If you're doing a checkout on the same branch, then I don't think it'll work because like Git does not support multiple terminals. So I'll have to finish before you can.
Okay. Why are we doing this?
I just No, I just checked out to a previous comment and then it asked me for bundling. So I don't know what's up.
Yeah, I didn't want this commit though. I didn't want to update all these dependencies.
I guess that won't matter because it just installed some more gems. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll not affect anything unless you have less thick space.
Yeah. So actually, when multiple gems get installed in the same file, and then you switch back to using the old gem file.lock, it can still find the old gem or no?
No, it can find the old gem. I mean,
Okay.
like if you have a look at the gems folder, it installs based on versions. So
Mm-hmm.
every version has a separate folder.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and it seems like what? Why is it building Nokogave for some reason? I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's done now. Spec. His work. Perfect. That's what I wanted.
So where did that commit come from?
It came from the Git log.
Which one?
It,
Just let me just copy the commit message and just don't change the. I because I can't copy so.
I
Mm-hmm.
think it was Miriam, John.
No, it was a
Um,
merge. It was a merge.
oh,
So
oh, okay.
1B7D FA6.
I think that's like from a while ago.
Yeah, that's. I just want a place where it starts to pass. That's all.
Well, I think
B7D.
there's a much more recent point.
John, yesterday I think we ran that test and it was passing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Now you can continue. Thanks.
Okay. Um.
Um, uh, which one was the recent revision you're talking about, John?
I don't know.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, so that one works. So minus
Um,
one commit on Marcelo's branch works. Let me just confirm that the latest commit doesn't.
which one was that, John?
Look at your history of commits. It's the second most recent one.
My history of commits. Okay.
Right. Okay. So
History of commits. No. And the branch. History of commits.
oh, so I know what it is. The query changed, and so then it switched back to trying to make a real net connect.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But
Then that should fail, right? Because of
but we do want it to be able to record once. So Vim, where do we want to go? Controllers, from this controller. So if we change this to Atlantic,
what the hell?
right, this isn't good. We basically, with this bug, no longer have the... let's try record all up in here.
Why changing the strings breaks the test?
That's because it's being recorded on that particular string.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Hmm. Okay.
What?
Alright, I see sort of what the problem is.
What the hell?
So,
I think we should just go back to the branch instead of a headless state.
no, I'm making progress here.
Okay.
Alright, so... Alright, and we go record once. And then it will blow up if I change this to Atlantic. But if I allow it to basically, where is my VCR setting right now? VCR.
Is there a way to tell it to make it a variable? So whatever we enter in the query.
I think you could just use a regex. I don't know if
Regex
that's
for what?
no, to fetch the query name maybe, because you want to have the separate tapes, I mean separate cassettes for separate query names, right? Or the queries.
What was the name of that setting? Okay, I got it. Mm-hmm. Hmm. It's not what I would like it to be. What are my other record options? Record.
One the reason why it might not record is because you are explicitly specifying the cassette name. So like it always detects that there is a cassette,
Mm-hmm.
even though the URL might be changed.
Okay, well, what if I set this to new episodes? Change word, new episodes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, like, we can make this work. I just don't like the way I have to do it to make it work. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be we were better using webmock and then just returning us particular JSON or particular downloaded query, a fixture. I
Ooh,
mean,
I
I
don't
mean,
know, because it's a really complicated fixture.
Not exactly. I mean, you could just download the file.
It's 1,000 lines.
So, as you change the query, you could just download the new file.
Well, that's what this is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Um,
But then can you just try removing the cassette name from
Mm-hmm.
that,
Okay.
and then just let's just see to what file does it record to, if that's possible.
Sure. What am I doing? Okay. Ta-ta.
But I am not sure if this will work or not. Or might be this will. I don't know. This.
Okay. So this is back to allowing a regular net connect to go through, I think. So yeah, specifying the cassette name. Mm.
I mean, what I was saying is like, no, I mean, let's just go through the documentation and start from scratch once again,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just follow what they say.
So basically,
I
when I
mean,
don't specify a cassette name, it makes one. Uh, fi- uh, makes one for each it block.
no, no.
John,
Mm-hmm.
is it possible that we keep the cassette name and we just simply use the query like Atlantic, Scrums, and pair hookup?
Yeah, of course, but I don't like it because it's not flexible.
It's ugly, but
Uh,
it'll give us the scrums that we want. I'm saying for the first run.
mm-hmm.
If it is too confused or too complicated to get it to work.
Mm-hmm. Cassettes, no cassettes feature. Hmm. If you're looking at the more recent one. Okay.
Be back in a second, John, okay?
Sure. Hmm. I gotta get the door.
I'm back.
Yeah, I just came back too. There's some Mormons at my door right now.
Say that again?
Never mind.
Hmm.
Okay, so if I delete that cassette, okay, so it basically boils down to the problem that if we uh, want to change the query, we just have to delete the fixture that recorded it.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's not a big deal, but it's just that it crashes in an ugly way when it crashes. Um,
So did you look at the record mode for all?
mhm.
That would not help us because it re-records.
Okay, so I'm gonna make it blow up by changing the query to Atlantic scrums.
So what do you have in the cassette right now?
The old one.
Agile Ventures?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now if I remove that fixture and run it again, it works fine. It just re-records and saves under that new name.
Okay. But what about the other failures?
Well, they're just failures because it's different fixture data. But the point is that it successfully got fixture data.
Okay. So it passed, okay, the URL and the last video, okay.
Yeah. And I think you should actually rewrite all these tests to be more like the URL one. I started you off incorrectly by making it too tightly coded. Instead, we should just assert that it's a name, a string. That's all we can assert. If we can do any intelligent regex, that would be nice. But
Okay. So we need to rewrite the first. You want to rewrite those tests, or?
yeah, we don't need to do it now. I'm just saying in the future we'll rewrite it so it's a little bit looser.
Yeah, it was yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Yes.
All right, so so um,
So when you blow off the cassette, it records one in just a few seconds?
mhm.
Wow.
Yep. So actually, I think we do need to rewrite these tests now because we've now come to that point where you've changed the query, and
Yeah.
so a new
Yeah.
we
Let's
have to
just
then destroy the fixture and get a new one. But then our tests fail because they're too tightly coupled to the fixture.
yeah.
I wasn't there, so what changes did you make to make it working? Can you explain
Well,
that?
Semperty, here's the summary. Um, Basically, the way we have it set up now is fine. Um, the way we get it is just change the query. I wish
Say that.
this thing was more graceful. Okay, I'll say it
So
again. Basically,
um,
the necessary fix is that I need to delete the old fixture if I change the query. I wish it was
okay.
more graceful, and that would automatically just overwrite the old one if it needed to. Um, Like, I
So
thought that's what the
after you've got
record
it
new
working,
episodes mode would do. In fact, let me try that.
after you after you've got it working, can you just comment it?
Yeah. Um, so just to confirm, this is broken. Okay. Um, the new episodes option is the one I thought would fix this situation, so it doesn't have to be manually deleted. Um, and this is sort of where it's broken for us. Uh, as if we
Yeah, use case for example.
Oh, okay. No, this does work now. Record new episodes is what we want. It basically will allow us to overwrite the old one. Okay, this is good. I thought I had tried this. I must have typoed this.
You did, but it was failing before.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Git commit am needed
Do you quickly correct those tests
we could do
before
that now.
before you commit?
No,
Okay.
but we can pair on that now. Git push origin scrum spike. Yeah, I need to dash F it.
Why do you have to dash F it?
Because it
For
is completely out of sync with the history of
Oh,
commits.
okay.
it's basically the same thing. Go
So
ahead.
anyway, it's up there if you want to grab it.
Yeah, I will.
Use this.
Do, 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 do.
And you can basically, I think everything will work, more or less. There's probably more configuration tweaks that I'll look at. And in fact, Sam, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
So you were talking about moving the configuration for VCR to a different place. Where were you recommending to put it?
In an initializers, I mean basically like for both the specs and the cucumbers, the configuration is almost the same, right?
Yeah, almost exactly the same. So what is this initializers thing? I don't know anything about it.
Initializers in the config slash initializers, it's basically things that get run when you start your Rails app or do anything related to Rails. I mean like rspec or Rails or whatever. So
Okay.
what you can do is you can just create a new file there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just make sure that the environment is test, and then add your code there, or maybe you can just add it as it is, but that will fail in production. So
What?
no, I mean you need to put it inside if env equals test or
Okay.
else.env equals test. Initializers slash VCR.
Did I get the initializers right? Yep. VCR.rb.
Uh,
Sort of screwed that up. I'm stuck in a tiny file.
Yes.
Okay. So,
I'm grabbing the code from you, John, right now.
right. Okay. So, I haven't written such a if block before. Tell me exactly how to write it.
Basically, what you can do is if rails.env, capital Rails, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dot env,
Is it capital E
env
and V?
small, no,
Like that?
small,
Okay.
equals
Mm-hmm.
in quotes test. So basically development, test, and production, and then enter. Then add your VCR code here.
Oh, okay. Cool. Did not know that. All right. So let's get VCR. Okay. So should I just delete the other ones and see if it works?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I need to rm spec support VCR and features support VCR, and then I need to rspec controllers scrum controller spec. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be working in there. So now
And
let's.
you should be able to run the cucumber as well, unless you've just thrown it away.
So this is called Scrum's feature. Oops. I'm gonna find method configure.
rspec. Open that file.
Which one?
The initializers. I think it's failing in the initializer, right? No. Since you
I mean, we can do.
go down the strap trace. Go down the strap trace. Just go down. So for some reason it's trying to call the rspec. If I go to the first, let's see. Oh, okay, I think it's because of this rspec metadata.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'll just try and comment this out
Mm-hmm.
for the moment, and then say perfect. Now rspec. And okay.
I'm getting an error and Ruby mine when you get a chance.
VCR.
What is this?
Data. I think what that allows me to do.
Yeah, what exactly is that needed for?
It's so that we can do the this thing right here.
Let me go to your screen and which thing?
Thing my cursor is on.
Where's your cursor? Okay. Which one? Are you scrolling at the moment?
I'm not scrolling. You're looking at the wrong window. You're looking at my terminal, right?
Oh, yeah, got it. So instead of that, you could just wrap it or use something like there is another way to do that, like vcr.useCassette. But I don't think that'll be a good idea. So, I mean, if you have a look at almost all of the examples, tell you to wrap everything inside a vcr.useCassette block, right?
So we could make an around each helper, I think.
Yeah. Or instead of that, I could just have a if condition to make sure that, like, if I'm in the rspec, like if I'm in the rspec directory or in the rspec environment, then then I can just use that configure block. I mean, I can use the rspec metadata.
Okay, so yeah, is there like an extra if? Can I put a debugger in this? I would love to see what other options are available to me here.
I'm doing that right now, so like just
Right? And so I can maybe further specify, right?
So did you say that's an initializer, some pretty?
Well, I guess it doesn't pick that up. So, okay, so
what is it, Marcelo?
I was asking, what is that's an initializer?
Yeah, that's basically it's called an initializer. That's basically a file that's run at the beginning of when a Rails app gets loaded.
Correct.
So
All
that's
right.
what it is. Is there any way that you know of which I can use to test if I am currently in the Cucumber environment or not?
I don't know, I'm looking for that now.
Okay.
I mean, okay, let's look at something real quick in the split. Uh, oops. Hmm.
John, what was the command to get the directory tree in Vim?
Control $sign.
Control $, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There might be a very hacky way of doing things.
So we could set an env variable here.
Where? Or you could just make it env cucumber equals true instead of interfering with the Rails env, because that will mess up a lot of things. Just make a custom variable
Okay.
called env cucumber.
Wait, how do I do this?
Uh, if you just hand me over, then
Go ahead. Mm-hmm. So, okay. Right. So do you want to like put in a less after that? Yeah.
and what was that command? D dollar.
What command?
No, nothing. I just wanted to delete till the end of the line. So basically this should work at the moment. Let me just try our specs. There we go. Cucumber. Oh, right, yeah. I can't have that. Only one. N variables can only be strings. So
Okay.
one way I could do that
Just
is
call it cucumber. It doesn't matter.
yeah, right. Cucumber. Anything will work. There we
Okay, that
go.
works. Now, what if will this ever cause a problem like on Travis? Like, does it? Because it's not gonna want to. Does it really reinitialize for each one? You know?
No, like the test run. I mean, that it initializes only for one run. So if you run the RSpec, like I don't think there'll be a problem if it stays on the whole
Hmm.
of all the time. But like since RSpec and Cucumber are different commands, it will reinitialize. And we seem to have another problem, which is different maybe.
Yeah. I
So,
have no idea what that is, though.
or
I
that's
don't think
I
that's
think
related.
I'll just
Yeah.
fix it maybe. RSpec. What?
Stop.
Yeah.
Go back.
So
Oh, that's
basically, it's
that's that's the code that I was playing with. So that yeah, there might be mistakes in there. Some pretty
okay. So what I'll
yeah.
just do it.
So
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it right now.
it could be yeah. We'll tackle that later.
I just want to make sure that all the tests are passing at the
Mm.
moment. I mean, other than the failing ones, like there are no errors. What? Okay, so that's only in Jasmine then.
I know, it would be nice. Is I think you can do pending true at the end, right before the
Yeah.
do block.
What? Ah, fuck. One question: how is it possible that you have windows named one and then three? Where did the second window go?
I killed it.
So the okay, so I need to comment them out.
Yeah.
Why don't you comment out everything and
Okay, so here I'll teach you how to comment out. Go to the top of the file and then do Control V. You do GG to go to the top of the file, but okay, I see what you did. Okay. So
Control
Control V,
V as in boy or V as in Victor?
Victor. Yep. And then Shift I, and then whatever character you want to enter, and then Escape. Boom.
Okay, so Shift I is basically a capital I, which means insert on all the lines, and then okay, got
Hmm.
it. That's
Yeah,
all now.
but
It should.
you got a line on top that was not
Yes.
commented out. All right.
Yeah, I'll just comment it out. See? Yeah, it seems like the strums. I have a feeling that the strums is calling an external
Um,
API maybe because
there is there,
why
I know where that is. That's the one that remember you sent it to me, Johnny, and I said I was going to look at it. It's this one.
Yeah.
I have if you
What
look
are
at
you
my
saying,
screen.
Sampraddy? You have a feeling that's calling an external API still?
I mean no I mean did you see like how the spec almost stalled there? Like it took a few seconds,
Yeah.
once 1 second, and then uh, so I think we need to have that allow HTTP request if there is no.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean I'll just add a deprecation notice because it seems like there are some. Oh yeah, the problem seems to be when you're using JavaScript, it's calling external asset files, and that seems to be the problem.
Right. It's calling localhost. So
Mm,
we can.
no, it'll fail all the JavaScript tests. So what
Right,
I'm
because
saying
the
is,
JavaScript opens up another connection on localhost. When we just
uh,
use webmock, I have to do something
yeah.
that allows that. Um, okay, let's cut these tests here.
I think I'll
Oh,
just add comment that out in the initializer, and then just add a deprecation notice above that. What do you think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, no, like basically I'll just allow HTTP connections when no cassette, and then I have that this should not be allowed, and then fix all the failing cucumbers, and then or something like that. Like they should not be allowed to do, so that
Um,
this can be
wait,
fixed
hold
later.
on. Let's try something in between time. Um, uh, let me look up something real quick.
I think you can just do webmock.allow because webmock is it uses webmock. So if
Yeah,
you're
one
talking
second. I
about
want
that,
to specify the local host one. Uh, okay. Yeah, so let's see if things break if we just have this in here. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see you were actually working in a different window. Mm-mm. Okay, I guess that's not working. Wonder if VCR has allow localhost. VCR allow localhost. Because I don't want to. Oh, okay. There's something called ignore localhost.
yeah. Hello.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Um,
So
I'll be right back.
okay, that
It,
looks like.
it worked, huh?
Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. So still getting those messages. Hmm. No, I
So
guess.
that's a call to the story in Pivotal Truck, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something that we'll want to fix someday.
All
So
right.
we shouldn't be making. I think that means we're making a real net connection there, which we don't want in a test suite.
Exactly.
Okay. So I don't see it. That's. Yep.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
Sampriti.
Okay.
Hey.
So, is your name Goeli or Gobeli? Hello?
Can you hear me, Sampriti?
Oh, I can hear you. I was just asking whether your name is
I put
Goeli.
I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Hmm.
I guess I'll need to leave for the MOOC office hours, so bye.
Okay, see you.
Yeah.
Bye. John, what do we have, like, when you do the tree, you get videos by query.yaml, and the other one is videos by query_yaml.yaml.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Because I have it misconfigured somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Still have it misconfigured somewhere. 'Cause now it's YAML.YAML. So I do. Okay.
John, I need to leave in about half an hour, okay?
Okay.
I'll be able to come back in about 2 or 3 hours later, but
Sure.
I need to take off in about half an hour.
Okay.
By the way, when are you going to New York?
The 7th.
Oh, coming right up, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting a truck or something and driving, or?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Get in the truck.
All right. Nice. And you already rented a place, right? You told me on New
Yeah.
Jersey.
Yep. I need to actually call them and tell them to turn on my utilities so I have electricity when I get there.
How long will it take you to go from Jacksonville to New Jersey?
I'm actually in Gainesville. 2 to 3 days, hopefully 2, but more likely 3.
Cool.
All right. Let's see if I got it configured correctly. Scrum's feature. So this shouldn't record a new one. So now you see, okay, good.
All right.
No new one. So another thing that I want to set is the default option of record new episodes.
So this does not record, right? It uses the existing one?
Oh, now it should, yeah. What the heck? Okay. There was a way. Configure new episodes. I want. No. Yeah, default cassette options. Perfect. This is what I wanted. So
Correctly.
now we can Mm. Okay, so we set that option globally to record new episodes. So the only thing we need to do on the test level is specify which cassette to use. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Um, so save that option.
Mm.
Okay, so I think that clears up all the VCR configuration we need to do.
Yeah. I think so.
For now.
Right.
So you can continue to write tests as you need to.
Okay. Um, where do you suggest we should be writing tests next?
Well, I think Marion was right. I mean, using Cucumber as a guide of where you need to implement your next thing.
Okay.
Hold on. My ear thing fell out. Um, so, uh,
So we can continue what we have on Cucumber and just build on that. Yeah, right there. That is some ugly color scheme, Johnny.
I'm not sure where my original one is. Is it just called dark blue? That's
That's
not my
better.
original.
Don't you
Um,
have a default one?
I do. I thought I had it named Solarize, though. Anyway,
That's good.
so, yeah. Yeah, I think I need to take a break now.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what I would like to do
We've been
is
hacking
set up
at
an
it.
interesting background step in which half of the fixture data is like persisted and the other half of the fixture data is like new arrival across the wire. You know?
Half persisted, right, and half coming through the network.
Yep. Well, or, okay. So what if we had scenarios that were like scenario. Actually, never mind. Yeah, we won't worry about that for Cucumber. I think Cucumber will do the sort of general steps like you see here.
Okay. All right. But
Okay.
okay, we'll The one thing that I'm not quite clear is how the persistence is going to happen. Is we will get one big push and get all the scrums, and then once we get that, then we will do a query for the reminder or the newest ones.
Well, what I think we'll do is, once we have a bunch of scrums in the database, the first thing that the index method in the controller will do is a quick lookup on the newest scrum and get its date.
Okay.
And it'll then make a query with, I assume that you can make queries in a date range, right? With youtubeit?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So then that will be the begin date of the date range.
Okay.
And so that query might return nothing. But
Okay.
basically every time you get on the page, it's just going to do a quick check to see if there's anything new. It'll check what's the newest thing I have, and then is there anything newer?
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll check with you later. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Johnny. Thank you. Great help.
Yep. Bye.